You are going to flip for this show. We promise. We will show you all the hustle on the court, as well as all of the power on the mat. So take that shot from downtown and sign on that dotted line as we celebrate Cardinal Athletics. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro, and it's playoff start for some. It's getting close for others.
Yeah, we've got teams that have actually wrapped up the season already. The Alpine ski team has finished up. The Nordic ski team has state tournament this week, but everyone else either finishing the regular season or getting into the post.
Yeah, it's winding down for some.
Well, the girls hockey team, that's where we're going to start because they are in their section tournament right now. Actually doing this show on Tuesday. They are on the ice as we sit here.
They are.
Taking on top seeded Maple Grove.
Let's go.
Very exciting.
Beat those Crimson.
Well, the girls hockey team entered last weekend's Section 5 AA quarterfinal as a fourth seed, looking for a little bit of revenge. Conference rival Anoka was on the other side of the ice, and the Tornadoes beat Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids 5-4 in overtime, the only time they played this season. It was SLPCR's only loss in their first 7 games, and they had been longing for some payback. They set the tempo in this one, outshooting the Tornadoes handily, but no scoring until 6 minutes into the second. Taylor Turnquist turns a turnover into gold, right to the slot, firing it to the back of the net. Taking advantage of opportunities was key in this one because scoring came at a premium. Early third period, another turnover right at the blue line. Brina tries to get it out front. It's kicked right to Turnquist. She nets her second of the game, her 39th goal and 70th point of the season, gives her team a 2-0 advantage. Anoka able to get a little more pressure through the third. Centering pass is going to be broken up, but a lazy clear leads to a good shot from the point by Courtney Thorpe. This one finds its way through Brittany Buell to make it a 1-goal game with more than 10 minutes left. But that is how the game would end. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids holding on and advancing to the semifinals with a 2-1 win.
A little revenge from that regular season loss, and you know, this is a team, the girls hockey team, coming in really on a roll. I believe is their 21st win of the season.
Correct. 21 wins, 4 losses, and just 1 tie. So 21 wins in 26 games. Pretty darned impressive, but it will take a Herculean effort to get to that championship because the Crimson are a very good hockey team this year.
Without a doubt, although I believe the Cardinals have a little better a winning record than they do. I believe that 18 wins for Maple Grove and now 20 before the regular season, now 21 for the SLPCR squad.
And I think, but Maple Grove going in, I think, ranked in the top 5.
They are.
And they have been there all year long playing some of the top competition. But wishing the girls all the best of luck. And check out the tweet from Panther Nation.
Love it.
Love it. You heard it here first. That's all I'm going to say. Hoping that they will advance to that championship later on this week. Boys hockey team had a tough week with some of the best teams in the state. Centennial ranked up in the top 23, top 20 teams to close out the schedule for the Cardinals. They lose to the Cougars 8-0 in this one. Peyton Nash made 25 saves. Centennial outshooting the Cardinals 33-13.
Some good teams in this conference, no doubt. Well, it's a tough road to hoe for the Cardinals down the stretch of their season. Just 2 days after that loss to number 16 Centennial, Cards are right back on the ice against the number 8 Blaine Bengals. Number 6. The Bengals are in a battle atop the Northwest Suburban North with just a game lead over the Cougars. They had won 10 of their previous 12 and showed no signs of slowing down. To their credit, the Cardinals kept the Bengals from being able to run away with it early. Blake Nastrom nets the only goal of the first with a quick release to the top of the circle. It's a 1-0 lead for the Bengals after 1. But the Bengals come out hungry in the second. On the power play, Luke Noterman circles the net, then feeds it back across to Ryan Tufte for the one-timer. That was just 23 seconds into the period. Now, just don't blink. Just over 30 seconds later, long outlet pass. Springs Tuttle down the wing, shorthanded. He snaps it short side against Hansen for his second. Tufte had a hat trick and 3 assists against the Cardinals. Here's one of his helpers on the offensive zone draw win. Fakes, then feeds to Max Bouch in the slot. He goes to the forehand, scores to make it a comfortable 4-0 lead. And far from done, another power play, another goal, this time Tufte slides it across to Noterman for the one-timer. He gets it past Hansen. Glove side, 4 goals in just 6:20 to start the second period for Blaine. Cardinals finally break up the shutout midway through the second. Noah Cross is going to take this one right to the net, create the rebound. Travis Hess is crashing it home, but that's all they would muster. Bengals outshot the Cardinals 19-1 in the third period and cruise to a 7-1 victory. Awful tough couple of matchups for the Cardinals boys hockey squad.
When your regular season schedule includes 3 teams ranked in the top 20,
it's very difficult.
All in your conference,
yep.
And as you talked about, Blaine still fighting to make sure they stay atop the conference, the other side of the conference, for this last week or two of the season, because the Cougars are nipping at their heels.
Absolutely.
So they got a lot to play for. And the Cardinals, again, it doesn't get any easier. They're at Elk River on Thursday. Elk River, another top 20 team. And then they're going to finish the regular season schedule with an early game on Friday at home at Crick, hosting Rogers. That was the game that was snowed out last week. And Howie?
We'll be there. 6 o'clock start. Make sure you put that in your calendar. It's an early start, as Joe mentioned.
Well, and I think that might be a good thing for the Cardinals. Because having that game against a little bit lesser opponent after those 3 big dogs and before you go into section tournament, maybe a little bit better for their confidence.
Well, absolutely. They need a little bit of that, playing that kind of competition and before things start up for sections.
Yeah, section tournament for the wrestling team is this week as well. They will be on the mat on Friday. They finished up their regular season schedule. They always put some of the top teams in the state on their schedule. Number 5, AA school Foley handed it to the Cardinals 53-6 on Thursday. 2 wins in this one. Josh Bryant, a 7-2 decision, and Nick Hulseth, a 7-4 decision at 2:20. But not a lot to talk about. And, 2 big matches in 2 weeks against Anoka and then against Foley, where they're only able to come up with 2 wins in each.
When we talked to Coach Johnson before the Blaine match, we talked about that Foley match, that it was a tough one. They controlled that one from start to finish. Well,
and he said the same thing about Foley as well as the matchup the previous week against Anoka is their team can't lose that lopsided a match.
Correct.
Especially against a team like Anoka. They have to be staying closer with their conference rivals. Well, the Friday was the final regular season match for the Cardinals, and they wanted to respond after that tough loss to Foley. They were just next door for a border battle with the Bengals. Cardinals typically dominate this matchup on the mat, but they're down a bit, and Blaine kept it closer than many might have expected. Couple of freshmen helped Coon Rapids get going in the lower weights. Gabe DeGris wraps Cody Neft in the cradle to get a pin midway through the second period at 1:13. And then it was Joe Robin at 1:20, and he put on a clinic with 4 takedowns before finally putting Carter Peterson in a cradle. He puts this one to bed in 1 minute 55 seconds. Blaine led 4 matches left. With 4 matches left, but this is not how you start a period. Robert Warner scampers to the edge of the mat, turns around, goes right after Sabine of Blaine, gets chest to chest and gets a pin just 10 seconds into the second period. That started a string for the Cardinals that broke open a close match. Hank Lovick has to work a bit longer to get his pin, changing up his strategy until finally forcing Kita's shoulders to the mat at 3 minutes and 43 seconds. Nick Hulseth will keep it going at 2:20. He pins Prentice Sayway midway through the first. That sealed the victory for the Cardinals. They finished their schedule with a 40-27 win over Blaine.
Yeah, I think a little closer than they thought it would be, but did a nice job to pull away at the end. And they needed that, obviously, after those tough losses to Anoka and Foley.
Well, and they are a team that's a little bit nicked up. They have some injuries and some key injuries. But I think against Blaine, they also gave a couple of other guys an opportunity to get up into the lineup.
They did.
And give some other guys some much-needed rest.
Without a doubt.
Sections are at Andover. Team sections at Andover on Friday. And remember, for the past few seasons, they've done a 1-day team section tournament. So to make it to state as a team, they would have to win 3 on Friday at Andover. Individual sections will be next week, and I believe that's Friday and Saturday. That'll be in Elk River. Gymnastics team has its section tournament this week, and they are almost there, Howie. How close can you get?
Wow.
How close can you get to your goal? They want to get into the 130s, and that you can't get much closer than that. 129.975, a great score for the Cardinals. Elks, however, put up a 143.65. Hannah Gross, second in the vault. Callie Lawrence not far behind in fourth. Cassie Rushmeyer was in a tie with Lawrence for fourth place on the vault at 8.825. Hannah Gross led the Cardinals on the floor in fourth place, and Kamika Hurdle, that's the top finisher on the floor with sixth place finish. That tells you how good some of those Elk River girls are.
You look at their scores the last few weeks in the high 127s, and now you're just a shade away from 130. You like to see their scores continue to get better as the season progresses, and that's what they've been doing.
Well, last chance to get it done is Friday in Cambridge. Good luck to the Cardinals. Should any of them advance to the state tournament, it will be held at the University of Minnesota next Friday and Saturday. Swimming and diving team has entered its pre-section preparation. No matches this past week, and they still don't swim at sections until Thursday the 25th. That tournament lasts through Saturday the 27th, and then state will be the following week. Alpine race team, we had a little bit breakdown in communication, but we're back on. And unfortunately, this is the final stats of the season for the Alpine ski team. Final Northwest Suburban Conference race. Boys finished in 10th place. Aaron Caroon was the top finisher in 27th. Jake Lure not far behind. Hawkinson finished 61st. Smith 66th. Nico Tweedy in 70th. The girls finished in 9th place. And it's because all four girls were able to finish both runs, and that's a big step. And Molly Bolin continues to be one of the outstanding young skiers in this area. A second place finish.
Nice finish.
And she finishes all conference. Emma Bolin finished in 21st place, and Bayo was in 75th with Berg right behind her in 76th. On January the 29th, they were at the Afton Invite, and you can just throw the team scores away, but we are going to talk about a couple of key finishers and I missed some of them.
You?
Well, here's the thing. They mixed everybody up, and they were all scoring for different teams. I'm not.
Oh, interesting.
It was very, very bizarre.
I bet it was.
So in this one, Josh Wieland and both Tweedies were, I think, on the Anoka roster. Wieland was on the Blaine roster. It was weird. Jake Lure, the top finishing boy, in 33rd place in a time of 1:23.78. On the girls' side, another great finish for Molly Bolin. She finished in 5th place with a time of 1:16.83. Below in 24th place, that's not Molly again. That one's Emma. She did not place twice.
That would have been 5th and 24th. Would have been difficult to do in the same race.
Right. Then this past week they were at sections. The boys finished in 18th place in sections. Aaron Caroon, 60th place, is the top finisher. Jake Lure in 71st. Josh Wheatland not far behind. Reed Smith, and finally Tweedy. That's Kai Tweedy. Molly Bolin, 22nd place at sections, and I believe she'll be skiing at state. Now, I don't quote me. I think she did actually make it to state, and I forgot to update the stat. I went back and forth with head coach Lauren Erie, and I think she said 23rd was the cutoff.
Oh, let's hope so. That'd be great.
Bolin should be going to state. Emma Bolin at 62nd, Bayo at 113th, and Berg at 114th. Okay.
Take a deep breath.
Nordic ski team also competing in its sections race last week. The girls finished in 5th place. Abby Ellenbecker, the top finisher, in 15th. Olivia Ellenbecker in 25th. Izzy Haberman was 29th. Emily Ford, 51st. And Maggie Kieran was in 60th place. For the boys, they finished in 6th place. And Paul Breitbach, with a 12th place finish, qualified for state in 34 minutes, 12.4 seconds. Dan Matthews was in 26th, Nate Muggenberg 27th, Petrov 37th, and Keeker finally rounds out the top 5 in 45th place.
Nice job. You can take a break a little bit and rest your voice.
And good luck to Paul Breitbach on Thursday
Yes.
as he competes in the Nordic Ski State Tournament. And if She should be there for her state tournament. Good luck to Molly Bolin and the Alpine ski.
Let's hope a
state
couple of
tournament.
representatives from Coon Rapids.
Both of those events taking place in Bowabic at Giants Ridge this week.
Talk a little round ball.
All
Ready?
right, let's do that.
When you're a struggling team, it's real tough to look at your conference and see 3 of the top 5 teams in the state. Leading the way in the polls of the Northwest Suburban is undefeated Osseo, who fell from 1st to 3rd place in last Thursday's rankings. They may have been a little upsetting for the Orioles and given them even more reason to prove themselves when they took the court against the Cardinals on Thursday night. Coon Rapids gets on the board first. Tyrion Johnson with a great pass to find Jake DeMovic behind the defense. That's the last time they would lead. Orioles respond with a run of a 3-point miss from Lowell. Alan Anderson quickly down court. Dante Jones, who finishes with a flush. He had a game-high 20 points for the Orioles. Cardinals highlights were few and far between on Thursday night. Nice little give and go to Tyrion. He finished with 6 on the evening. Osceo's swarming defense didn't let up in this one. Armand Roper-Thornton, Mr. Roper-Thornton, trapped in midcourt, able to get it through the nice double team to Nick Keller. Keller was the only Cardinals in double digits with 17. Orioles in complete control in the first. Dial Lowell gets the bounce at the buzzer, but the Cardinals go to the locker room trailing 58-25. It's more of the same in the second. Starts with the defense. Jones strips the ball and takes to the rim again with a left-handed jam. Nice strip there. Then just a minute later, great anticipation from DeMario Armstrong to pick the pass. Then he'll feed Anderson for the jumper. Orioles are going to fly away easily with this one. 94-43. Joe Yund is the final.
That is
they're a good squad.
That is a very good basketball team. But the Cardinals respond by getting a win at the Target Center on Saturday.
Nice.
A really cool event for the guys to be able to go down, play the matinee game on the big stage downtown. And they come away with a win against a section rival in Cambridge Isania, 65-51 win. Tyrion Johnson leading in all categories, a double-double, 23 points, 10 boards. 3 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. He's doing it all.
Jake
DeMovic, another nice game, 17 points, 5 helpers. Sam Carver came off the bench to add a dozen and grabbed 4 rebounds as well. Well, the Cardinals were hoping to carry some of the momentum from that big win at Target Center into this week's play. On Monday night, they welcomed the Andover Huskies. This was a team the Cardinals knew they could play with and even beat, but they would have to play 2 good halves if they wanted to grab this conference victory. Huskies took the early lead by getting the ball down low. Corbin Johnson hit a couple early baskets that helped Andover play from in front. Cardinals have the answer down low, though. That's Nick Keller. Big night for the big man. 21 points, 6 rebounds. Coon Rapids held the lead for the majority of the first half. But they were never able to pull away. Andover finding some space on the perimeter, and they've got guys who can shoot. Dylan Echtenkamp hits one of his 3-pointers. And it's a 1-point Cardinal lead at the half. Tyrion Johnson comes to play when the cameras are there. Second CTN game in a row that he has been a leader at both ends. 22 points, 7 boards, 7 steals, 4 assists against Anoka, but it wasn't enough. The outside shooting, or against Andover rather, outside shooting isn't enough. The outside shooting helps the Huskies pull away.
It really did.
Echtenkamp had 19 points. Logan Rezak led all scorers with 28. Andover stretches to a 77-64 win.
Tough loss because Cardinals played well. They had that 1-point lead at the break. Andover made some nice adjustments after halftime. And again, good ball moving around the perimeter, nice outside shooting, really helped the Huskies pull away with that one.
Well, and the Cardinals go through spurts of almost like not quite sure what they want to do. When they get in their flow, they're a fun basketball team to watch.
Absolutely.
But they need to be able to develop that flow for 2 full halves. Boys basketball team will be at Blaine on Friday, at Maple Grove next Tuesday. Girls basketball team a similarly difficult schedule this past week against highly ranked Osseo. They lose 62-25. Kaylee Porish has more than half the Cardinal points with 14. And then on Monday, they played Andover, and they lose to the Huskies 64-42. Kaylee Porish had 17. Marina Nyberg added 12. Carly Anderson had 7. Cardinals will be at Henry Sibley on Wednesday, and they host Blaine on Friday.
After last Tuesday's storm, a lot of kids were probably hoping for a snow day on Wednesday.
I was.
I know you were, but there were some that have been looking forward to that day for a long time. That's because Wednesday was National Signing Day, the day high school seniors around the country commit to the colleges of their choice and declare their intention to take their sports dreams to the next level. The class of 2016 at Coon Rapids High School had 7 representatives at the fieldhouse, ready to make their decisions clear. Swimming standout Lizzie Giese will be flying furthest from the nest as she continues her career at the University of Nebraska, Omaha. Michael Elson will also be heading out of state as he signed to play golf at Clark University in Dubuque, Iowa. Girls soccer had a pair of leaders taking their games to the next level. Allie Misquick is headed for Southwest Minnesota State University in Marshall, while Emily Koss will head north to play for the Bemidji State Beavers next fall. Ray Wellner will be staying in the Twin Cities and playing baseball, suiting up for the Golden Bears of Concordia University St. Paul next spring. And finally, Cody Kovalenko and Joshua Kauk will continue their football career when they don the maroon and gold for the University of Crookston this fall. All of these leaders will be missed, but they're all excited for the challenges that lie ahead.
Probably won't start this year. They're going to redshirt me. I'm going to work out and try to get bigger. And then next year I'm going to come in and see what I can do. I'm going to be studying software engineering as a major, and then possibly finance as a minor.
I toured it and I just really liked the campus, and then I met some of the soccer girls, so it's just, I like them. Just meeting new people and new experiences, and the level of play is different.
Well, congratulations to all of those young athletes, and
Always
best
exciting.
of luck to them in the future. In our near future, we've got some boys hockey. We're going to make up that hockey game on Friday. 6 o'clock start. Remember that. 6 o'clock. Check us out on YouTube if you can't make it over to the Crick. Then next Tuesday, we'll be watching the girls basketball team against Maple Grove. That starts at 7 regular time. The boys hockey playoffs. And that is still to be determined. But that's going to do it for this edition of Sports Night. Want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.